minutes, and I have to preach in those minutes. And I'm going to kickstart from where I left off last week on what I call breaking the myth of December. This is the last installment of that, breaking the myth of December. 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7 says, but have nothing to do, this is scriptures, but have nothing to do with irreverent folklore and silly myths. On the other hand, discipline yourself for the purpose, there's a purpose for everything, of godliness, keeping yourself what? Spiritually fit. I said last week, let me just give you a kind of a background to this message for those who missed it. Myths are widely held but false beliefs or ideas that has presented itself as historical accounts, and because they're historical, they now become believable. There is a widely accepted myth of December when people begin to feel the pressure they didn't feel in January, the fear they didn't feel in March, and the comparison they didn't feel in July. And somehow, even in the African folklore, they say once you enter into the latter ends of the month, the last quarter of the month, the ember months, the September, the October, the November, the December, you have to be more cautious, especially in December, because demonic activities are out there, and it produces fear. And I've lived through that for years until God started to say, no, that myths are not faith-spoken words. December is not demonic, but the myth surrounding it can be destructive. December is not cursed, but the pressure around it can sometimes be crushing. And December is not dangerous, but the mindset that you can pick up can be draining. And when I finished this message last week, a wonderful lady sent me a message and said that she lost her dad in December, and December doesn't always look like a good year, a good month for her. But that message broke that cycle. So I need somebody to recognize this is a prophetic message, not a psychological message. December supposed to be a time meant to celebrate God's faithfulness. And what is now supposed to be celebrating the faithfulness of God has now become a countdown clock reminding people of what they have not achieved. A season that's supposed to be meant for gratitude has now become a season of grief. And so today and last week, I want to expose that myth, because sometimes if you don't expose something, the devil always walks in darkness. I want to expose the myths, or what I call the fears of December, and break them, because myths, they break when truth is spoken. Are you following what I'm saying? And the first thing I did, just as a recap, last week, is the first two myths I broke is, number one, that time is running out. You know, this myth that, December, your time is running out. And I broke it by giving you three truths. Some of you need to start taking notes in church now. You understand? And the first thing I said is, God's progress in your life is not always visible. Number two, to break that myth, is that God's progress is not bound by the calendar. God is not limited to 12 months. Number three, that broke that myth, is that God's progress sees a tomorrow, which means you've got to believe that you are more than a bad moment. Many people tie their entire life to a bad moment. Number two, the myth of December, breaking the myth of December, is the myth of comparison, where we compare ourselves to what others are doing. And I gave you two truths to break that. First one was what? Release it. Release comparing yourself. How do you do that? Your journey is custom made. Turn to someone, say, your journey is custom made. Your journey is custom made. Your journey is not like somebody else. And number two, I said return to gratitude, because gratitude, it resets perspective. I want to give you two more myths that I came across that we need to break. And I call it the myth of repeating the same year again. You're going to break that one. Break that one. Some fear that the new year will be a repeat of failures, disappointments, or stagnation. I hope you're taking notes also online. Some of you fear that January the 1st that we're going into will look exactly like January the 1st of this year. That nothing will change and that you are stuck in a cycle. Let's be honest. I've felt that before. And the enemy uses what I call the repeated year fear to break your confidence. If Satan can make you believe you wasted time, God didn't move, you failed again, nothing changed, and you're still in the same cycle, then you will enter into next year with shame instead of faith. You will enter with fear instead of joy, and you will enter in with pressure instead of expectation. That's the devil comes to you and say, what changed last year? Oh, January is coming, you're going to fast again. The fast that you did this year, what exactly did it produce? You're supposed to ask the devil that, if I fasted and I still went through what I went through, what would have happened if I didn't? Truth. Every church has a pulse. Living church, by the way, every church has a pulse. A church like us should not be fasting in January. We've got very young people in church. Why would they fast? But that's the pulse over the last 20 years that God gave me. Fast. It's a pulse. We see increase. We see change. We see transformation. And I've been doing it for 20 odd years. And every year has not been the same. And the devil keeps saying, so what happened last year? Nothing happened. And you're going into another year. The myth of the repetition of years, it makes you ignore the promise in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 18 to 19. And this is for somebody. He says, do not remember the former things. Are you hearing me online? He says, or ponder on the things of the past. He says, listen carefully. I am about to do a new thing. Now it will spring forth. Will you not be aware of it? I will put a road. Did you see that? In the wilderness and rivers, what? In the desert. The devil gives us a myth in December, and it's called the myth of repeating the same years. So let me give you 3 truths that will kill or break that cycle. Number 1, you don't repeat seasons. You graduate from them. Shout this louder with me. Say, I don't repeat seasons. I graduate from them. Listen to me. You don't repeat a year. You complete a season. What people call repeating the same year is often God. Listen to me carefully. It's often God perfecting what concerns you. God fixing what you didn't know was broken. It's a year that sometimes God is aligning your steps with his timing. God is preparing you for what he already finished. God is using that year to protect you from rushing into wrong places. God is strengthening you for a bigger assignment. Nothing in your story is wasted. Everything has become an equipment for your greatness. I didn't repeat the season. I just graduated from them. Number 2, you are not who you were in January. I miss somebody there. You are not who you were in January. Listen, you cannot repeat a year that God has redeemed. You cannot repeat something that God has already used to shape, to prune, to grow, to heal, to prepare you, or to strengthen you. Listen to me. Even if the environment looks the same, you didn't live the same year again because you didn't live it as the same person. You grew, you matured, you learned, you survived, you endured, and you changed. Listen to me. Even the pain that didn't resolve has shaped you differently. The new year is not powerful because it is the 1st of January. No, it is powerful because God stepped into it with you. Somebody got to listen to this. You are not who you were in January. I am not who I was in January. In January, I was on the sick bed inside a hospital for a week and a half. But God changed me. I saw it was during the fast. It was actually the 3rd week of the fast. I just suddenly found myself in A&E and bam, they admitted me. I was like, God, what is going to happen to the fast? What is going to happen? Who's going to lead? But you know what? I'm no more the same person. Why? Because I don't take Wednesdays every single Wednesday anymore. Why? Because God used that January to build new people, to ignite new people, to make people carry the baton with fire and produce better results than I could. I'm not who I am in January. I am not who I am in January. My wife and I, we are not the same people we were in January. We went through a very difficult period. In our lives with our children, we went through a very difficult time. But you know what? We are not who we are. We thank God we went through it. You know what we learned? Both of us has learned one thing this year is my ways are not your ways. As the heavens are far from the earth, so are my ways different from your ways, and my thoughts different from your thoughts. I learned that the steps of a good man are ordered by God. I know and I've learned that what God will do may not line up with you, but it will line up with his will. I am not who I am in January. I may not have moved the dial, but in the spiritual realm, I have moved across the dial. You are not who you are in January. Break that myth that I'm repeating the same cycle. And number 3, you are called for the next season. You are called for the next season. Stop believing. Listen to me. I want to help somebody. Stop believing the myth that of you're entering the new season unprepared. This is a really big thing. It affected me for years. Many feel guilty or ashamed for not having a perfect plan for next year because you didn't have it this year. The myth says if you don't have everything sorted out, figured out, the new year will defeat you. Can I say this? It is not true. I went to see a pastor in the early days of Worship Tabernacle. Was chasing after people to see me. I just can remember a pastor I called that just need to. I'm just starting Worship Tabernacle. I just need your help, just need your advice and all that. And chased him and chased him and chased him and chased him, and nothing came back. I must say he's come to preach in this church like 3 times, him and his wife. God will do what he says he will do. I remember walking into this person. It was around Hampstead. And I sat down and he says, if you want to be a good pastor, you need to have a plan. He said, like, I know what I'm preaching on January, this topic. February, this topic. March, this topic, the second half, this. And he reeled out the whole year. I left the place ashamed, like, I don't even know what I'm preaching next week. And so I sat down and I went into a fast. God revealed the entire year to me. Nothing came. Because that's not how God deals with me. God deals with me by step upon step, line upon line, precept upon precept. God doesn't deal with me in that. If you ask me, what are you preaching in January? I don't know. But I will know when it's time for me to know. Am I lazy? Absolutely not. I can even show you. If I show you my iPad, you will see 2026. Things are already in there. But I can guarantee 100% that I won't preach anything that I put in there. I'm a prepared person, but I always follow the leading of the Spirit. Because just think about it. Did Joseph and Mary, you see that story? Let me give you my own abridged version to that story. So here you have Joseph. He's preparing. I've got this Mary. Mary told me she's a virgin. There are not many that you find around. I don't know why he's thinking about that. We need to ask, was he? And then he tells his friends, I want to propose to Mary. I want to propose to Mary. I want to propose to Mary. So his friends come around and says, you've been waiting for this long. We're going to do it big. So you now went to, the shard. Let's go for the shard right now. Let's go for the shard. We go. So you get the shard. You go up and you tell them, I want this prepared, I want this prepared. You get somebody to set up the balloons and set up the flowers and all that. It's going to happen, this, and you're getting close to the day. You get the ring and everything is sorted. And a day towards the proposal, all your friends, the ladies, have gone to do the glam up, their makeup, their stuff, the shoes. Everyone is waiting for their surprise. And then Mary says to Joseph, a day before, Joseph walks into the house and just wants to say hi to Mary and finds Mary crying. What's up, girl? Mary says, I'm pregnant. Watch the film. Have you not seen that the ring, the balloons, and everything would disappear in 2 seconds? Why? Joseph did not prepare for what God had prepared for him. Gideon was not prepared for what God prepared for him. Joshua did not know he would take after Moses. How would he know when Moses didn't even know that God has called him to be a deliverer? So if Moses had planned his age, remember 40 years Moses was in the wilderness, 40 years. And then on the 41st year, you say he planned to go back to Egypt and lead the children of Israel out. No. So I've learned 3 things in this thing. If you're writing, you could write this. God prepares you and I in the unseen seasons. David was prepared for Goliath long before he ever saw. I didn't buy that property. Don't worry. God is preparing you in the unseen season. Many of us want to always be seen, but God is preparing you for the unseen season. Number 2, God never calls you into a season He has not equipped you for. God has equipped you for your 2026. Did you hear what I just said? God prepares you, number 1, in the unseen season. God never calls you into a season He has not equipped you for. Can I encourage somebody? Even when you feel unqualified, overwhelmed, everything you have walked through has prepared you for what God is about to do to you next. Your past is your proof that you've been equipped. I was talking to a young leader this afternoon, and I said, when you walked into this year, you didn't know you're going to be the leader, did you? Did you? No, he said, yeah, no, I didn't know. I didn't know. I said, yeah, so when Pastor Ever spoke to you, you thought, yeah, okay. And then suddenly, before you could say Jack Robbins, he just installed you in there straight like that. I said, were you prepared for it? No, he was not. But God had prepared him every single year he was serving. Even I, that said he should lead, I didn't even know in the beginning of this year that he would lead. God didn't even show me. But God never calls anyone for a season He has not equipped you for. God has equipped you for a good marriage. I just missed somebody. Let me speak to those who are upstairs. God has equipped you for a good marriage. Equipped you to be a good husband. Equipped you to be a good wife. And has also equipped you to be a good father and a good mother. He has equipped you. You may not feel it right now, but He has equipped you for the next season. And number 3, God gives direction step by step. He gives direction. Some feel unready. Some have no strategy. Some maybe have no savings. Some maybe don't have a 10-year plan, but God rarely shows the full map. I want you to listen to this. Listen carefully. You can write this down. God, he gives instructions, not blueprints. If he was going to give blueprints, then he would have said to Abraham, go, Canaan is where you're going. No, he says, go, pick up yourself. Go to a place I will show you. God doesn't give blueprints. If God had given Joseph the blueprint, Joseph would have run away. Who wants to be sold by their brother or sister? In fact, December are coming, you're even palpitating what is going to happen at the family gathering. Who wants to receive who wants to receive a bad prophecy? What we quote. Say, oh, bro, I can see there are many struggles that you will pass through. Immediately, God forbid. No. God will always say you're going to be a great man. He may not tell you how you will be a great man, but he has spoken before you arrive. And then he will now give you the simple instructions of how you get there. He never showed me the blueprint. God did not show me that we will buy a building last year. He didn't show me because I wasn't interested. No. If you were interested, it would have been different. I wasn't interested. I knew what I went through here. It nearly took my life. And then you want me to start another one. And all the buildings that they were seeing, 4.9, 5 million, 6 million. How much do we really have in our account? By the time we bought the building, we had less than 200,000 pounds in our account. And we're buying a 3.5 million building with how many people? But step by step, God brought someone along. Step by step. I said, Shem, go look for the building. Just go look for the building. Okay, let me fulfill righteousness. Just go look for the building. The guy, instead of him doing it slowly, he just said, Pastor, I've got a building. I said, which one? Where? But you know what? I wasn't prepared physically. But heaven had prepared this entire church for where we're going. And then we stepped into it. I looked at the building. We bought the building. This is big enough until they put the architectural drawing on place. And then we found out that the building was too small. And the children could not be there. And so we were looking to next door. We thought next door would be in 2 years' time. Next door is now. But you know what? The Bible says in Psalm 119, what did it say? It says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. He didn't say your word is the light for the full journey. No, he says your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Can I say to somebody, if you're going to Scotland, at night, when you switch on the headlights, it does not see all the way to Scotland. But every time you're driving another 50 meters, it will show more light. It will shed more light. It will shed more until you get 200 kilometers away from London, miles away from London, until you get to Scotland. A lamp is for the feet, not a floodlight for the entire journey. Heaven has signed off your next chapter. Enter into the new year with faith. Don't enter into with pressure, because what God begins this 2025 expansion, he will transform in 2026. We are breaking the myth of repeating a cycle. You're not repeating anything. You've graduated from it. Number 4, let me give you the myth of financial pressure. Are you hearing me online? Let me read a scripture to you, and then we'll close on some few points. Let's go to Philippians. Let's go to Philippians. We're going to read Philippians chapter 4 and verse 11. Now, I want us to read it together. It says what? Actually, I don't have a sense of needing anything personally. You are going to read that scripture. You are going to read it. Shout it loud. Say, ready, steady, go, what? Are you sure? You know that thing that you put inside your favorite? You understand? Read it again. Actually, I don't have a sense of needing anything. What have I done? I've learned by now to be what? Quite content. Whatever my circumstance. Go to the next verse. With much, I have found the recipe for being happy, whether full or hungry, hands full or hands empty. Let me encourage you by saying this to somebody. December is the enemy's favorite month to create pressure. What kind of pressure, Pastor? Pressure to buy gifts, pressure to impress, pressure to perform, pressure from family expectation. Buying gifts become an obligation. Celebrations become competitions. Tradition turns into traps. Family gatherings become a financial warfare. End of the year spending, travel, social expectations now trigger anxiety. The myth of December says you must spend to feel loved or relevant. Buy this. Attend this event. Don't show up empty-handed. Give gifts so people know how you care. It is a difficult, ridiculous myth that says December, where it is the celebration of what we have designated, not the reality that Jesus is the reason for the season, has now become a financial quagmire, a financial stress, a place where if I don't give you a gift, it means I don't love you. Look, how many times in the year, my wife and I will look at each other in December and say, no presents. We can't afford it. No presents. The best we'll give each other is what? Cards. Because I know my wife loves cards. Me, I don't, but she does. We just don't. And we tell the kids, what do you want? They give 5 lists, you're getting 1. We can't afford it because we rather invest than waste. We really can't afford it. We would sit down, we will eat nice foods, and we'll enjoy ourselves. Like, can I say this? I can't remember any Christmas present I got from my parents. Can't remember. Not one. I lie not to you, I'm in church. I can't remember one. The only thing I remember from my dad is that he was always there. His presence was there. What he taught us, how he played with us, the schools he would take us to. That's what I remember. I remember that my dad, for an African man at his age, 89 now going 90, was hands-on with taking care of his children. I saw my dad bathe my junior sister. That's why I'm hands-on with my kids. That's the legacy he's giving us. That's the present he's giving us. I wanted to show you a video, but I didn't really sign it up. At 89, a few months ago, my dad was playing 89 basketball with my son. You think my son will remember his 20 pounds gift, or he will remember the basketball? I can tell you, I can show you videos where you will just hear my daughter screaming and playing with his grandpa on the bed, kicking each other off the bed. Who will get off the bed first? That's what they remember. And if your value is based on a gift, you will lose it very soon because people won't stay by you on that. That is what, Jesus is not remembered for the Christmas gift he gave you. He's remembered for changing and shaping your life. We've got to stop this pressure. Before, on my road, where we live, by Christmas, 1st of Christmas, everybody's Christmas light has gone. It's like it's a competition. Me too, I see myself. And I'm the only one. Sometimes I'm asking about, help me hold the ladder. And I'm trying to because there's a competition. There's nothing on right now. Leave me alone. I am who I am. After 30 days, all of it goes away. I'm not saying I'm not putting it up, but I'm no more under pressure. I told my son, I said, we need to do it. He says, we're too old for this now. I'm like, 18? He says, Dad, we're too, whether he doesn't want to do it or not, it doesn't really mean anything. Are you following what I'm saying? And many of us go into debt because if I've got 6 more minutes to go. I remember, if you check the news, you can Google if I'm lying. A woman who was so much under pressure to buy stuff for her kids, just to say, a single mother, I need to make sure that they're happy. They're not missing their father or missing a man. She went to borrow 300 pounds. I think it was 300, 400 pounds. Bought a Nintendo Wii or something like that and a gift. And went on to the loan sharks to borrow the money. By March, it has gone to 700, 800 pounds. They were knocking down the door. 2 big bully men walked in, were packing up the TV and the Nintendo Wii she bought. She called the police before the police had to come in. The stress of the thing you bought that they're about to take. And you know what? You have not given no Christmas present to your child. Because the Christmas present I want to give to my child is value. How, when you don't have, you are content. You are happy whether you're full or not. If I eat chicken on Christmas Day, good. If I eat turkey on Christmas Day, good. If I eat meat on Christmas Day, good. And if I don't eat anything, God forbid, I'll find somewhere to eat. There's somebody doing something, wasting money somewhere, I will find. And if you can't find anybody, you need to repent. For he who wants to have friends should show himself friendly. If God, 20, how many, we've been married 28 years. 30 years ago, I had bought my property by then. I had no money. Christmas Day, no money. I sat there in my house, depressed, like, what am I going to do? Then I just had an epiphany. Somebody is wasting money somewhere. I just picked up the phone. Yo, Bob, what are you doing? Ty! It's rocking here. I'm coming. Bam, bam. Before you know anything, jumped into my car, went there, we rocked. After I finished, I called my twin mother. What are you doing? He says, oh, just got a few people and all that kind of stuff. Duka has cooked. I said, cook? I said, I'm coming. Bam! Walked in. And when I was going, I looked at her. I said, what's happening? She said, what? I said, I'm going home. She says, hey, okay, we'll see you next. I said, take away. Because I knew that for the next 2 days, I can. What are you? If you can't find a place of joy, don't be under pressure. You don't have to buy what you have not planned. You don't. December is not for that. And let me give you 2 things, 1.5 minutes each. Financial pressure begins in the mind before it touches your money. Pressure is a spirit. It doesn't come from God. Anxiety exaggerates the size of your need. Comparison makes you to spend to impress. Some of the financial pressures people feel in January is caused by a decision that they made under pressure in December. The enemy uses December to trap people into what I call unnecessary debt. Luke chapter 12 verse 15 says, speaking to the people, Jesus continues to be alert and guard your heart from greed and from always wishing for what you don't have. For your life can never be measured by the amount of things you possess. God gives peace. Pressure comes from expectation that God did not place on you. You have to know how to say no without guilty. So we're going to try that in church. Everybody shout, no. No, that didn't come from your heart. Shout, no. No is spiritual. No is biblical. No comes from God. No is expansion. No is transformation. No is participation. You must learn to say no. Somebody called me some time ago and says, Pastor, I'm getting married in Nigeria. Congratulations, God bless you. He says, oh, we want to invite you. I said, for what? Said, oh, for you to conduct the service. I said, God bless you. How am I getting there? I said, how am I getting there? Oh, pay for your ticket. I said, what kind of ticket? What kind of ticket? Don't let E start the letter. I'm not leaving my family, leaving everything for a DVT at the back with a toilet and people fighting on luggage and airplanes. I'm not doing that. I don't care. Don't start with E. Start with B. So what class am I traveling? B. Oh, we'll get back to you. I said, me too, I'll get back to you. Till now, I'm eating easy in my house. For what? Learn to say no. Yet you're going to dirty, whatever you call it. You understand? You're buying different clothes. They call it in where you come from. Ashwebi here, there, spending 150 here, 200 here. You travel down for this wedding. I don't know why they do it in December, but you travel down to this wedding. It's you don't have any money, and yet you get there, and you debt ridden. You still will go exchange money and be throwing it up. Foolish person, throwing it up. You that don't have no money. And then you come back in January. Hey, I'm fasting. God, open the windows of it. Which window? That you closed? Just because you want to belong. You got to learn how to say no. No. Contentment is not a lack of ambition. Contentment is protection from pressure. I've learned to say no. You don't need more money first. You just need more peace. A calm mind makes better decisions than a pressured mind. And number 2, financial wisdom is a weapon against financial pressure. Financial wisdom. Proverbs 27:25-27. Are we ready to read? Personalize it. And if you're not, I'm coming to give you the microphone. Ready, steady, go. Take care. No. Follow the teacher now. Take care of what? My responsibility. And what? And be diligent in my business. And I will have more than enough. An abundance of food, clothing, and plenty for my household. You will have more than enough if you are diligent. Budgeting is spiritual. Budgeting is spiritual. Living within your means is spiritual. Planning is spiritual. If you don't plan it, don't purchase it. Set a spending cap this December. Prioritize essentials. When I deal with premarital, I deal with the finances. I ask the question, okay, after all these finances, after bringing your money together, and after all that kind of stuff, which one? You have miscellaneous. How much is your miscellaneous? How much you want to give? That the money that you can just spend by yourself. A couple came and gave themselves 400 each. I said, are you normal? Are you all right? 400. That's 800 pounds per month. That means you would have spent 8,000 pounds in 10 months. Pastor, how much we should get? 150. That's enough for you. I put your hair, I put your nails in the budget. So what else do you need? Because you know what? You put a spending cap. You are working for your future. You're working for the betterment of your future and of your children. And yet you want to spend money anyhow. Christmas gives you the license to wake up at 4 a.m. to go and wait for a sales. 4 a.m. They'll tell you wake up at 6 to pray. You won't pray. At 4 a.m. 4 a.m. You're already there. Waiting for what? Can I say this? Gift does not prove love. God forbid, you can give your wife a gift and still cheat on her. In fact, the gift is a remorse for your cheating. So gift does not prove love. Presence proves love. Where did you suddenly disappear on the 25th of December? Why did you forget to buy the wine? And then 2 hours after that, you're still not at home. Gift does not prove it. Break free from financial slavery and end the year in peace. Can I conclude by saying this? Maybe you've been living under the weight of the myth of December. Comparison. Time has run out. Financial pressure. Maybe you feel discouraged, afraid, or uncertain. Jesus wants to break that fear today. You can surrender your calendar to God and you can pick up his timing. Can I say this? December is not your judge. December is not your enemy. December is not your deadline. Your story is not defined by December. Your destiny is not concluded and controlled by time. Your future is not dictated by the calendar of man. I want to prophesy over somebody that you will not be swallowed up in this December. You will master it. You will not end this year in pressure. You will end it in peace. Help me preach to your neighbor. Turn to your neighbor. Say, this December, you are not under pressure. Say, this December, I am not under pressure. Stand up. I want you to shout this loud after me and then we close. Speak this loud. Say this loud. Say, I will not fear. That's too low for me. Come on. Say, I will not fear December. Say, my year is not defined by a month. Say, my story. Shout it and say, my story is still unfolding. Say, God's timing is perfect concerning me. Come on, I want you to break a demon in December. Say, what God has spoken will manifest itself at the appointed time. Say, I refuse the myth of December. Say, I break free from every end year pressure. Say, my worth is not measured by a calendar. Say, God is not late concerning my destiny. Say, I will end this year in peace, no pressure. Say, I enter January with confidence. Say, what God, this is important. Say, what God has for me will not pass by me. Say, this December, I will make decisions from discipline, not from pressure. Say, from wisdom, not from worry. Say, from purpose, not from panic. Say, I will. Say, I will finish strong, stable, and stress-free. If you believe it, shout yeah!
We'll just keep on praising him, raise him up. Oh yeah, you see people taking their place in your love. Oh yeah, as you keep your love, everybody's good, let's roll. So come on if you're good to go. We don't care if you like it. We'll keep it moving till the night's up. Even if you wanna fight us, we'll shut it down and put the lights up. Oh, nah. Oh.